I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hey Patriot Warrior fam, I'm Face, and these are the histories that America forgot. According to Wikipedia, quote, Mexican troops arrived in San Patricio in the early hours of February 26. After a 15-minute battle, Johnson's men were defeated. 6 Texians, including Johnson, escaped, and the remainder were killed or captured. While Urrea waited for reinforcements before beginning his march towards Goliad, his advanced party searched for Grant and the remaining Texians. Unaware of Johnson's fate, on February 27th, Grant and his party began their march northward to San Patricio, driving a herd of several hundred horses he had purchased. The men camped along San Fernando Creek on March 1st. Local ranchers welcomed them, but that night they sent out a messenger to Urrea with Grant's location and plans. Mexican troops marched overnight toward El Puerto de los Cuates de Agua Dulce, a well-known crossing point on Agua Dulce Creek, approximately 26 miles south of San Patricio, about 1 mile from Banquete, and just north of modern-day Kingsville. Mexican soldiers took cover in 2 groves of trees. Urrea had approximately 150 troops, including 80 dragoons. Grant's company comprised of about 53 men, including a large contingent of Tejanos, Mexican-born residents of Texas, under the command of Plácido Benavides. The men were in good spirits and rode at an easy pace towards San Patricio. Grant, Benavides, and Reuben Brown rode a quarter of a mile ahead of the main body of Texians and saw no signs of Mexican soldiers. Between 10 and 11 a.m., as the bulk of the Texians reached the trees, the Mexican cavalry attacked. Taken completely unaware, many of the Texians were shot before they were able to raise their guns. As they tried to flee, dragoons chased them down and lanced them off their horses. 5 Texians dismounted and made a run for a small village nearby, hoping to gain cover so they could use their rifles. Urrea sent the infantry after them. 2 of those Texians were captured and the rest escaped. Grant, Benavides, and Brown turned back to join the other Texians. Once in the battle, Brown dismounted, either to reload his rifle or because his horse was killed. Seeing that the battle was lost, Grant pulled Brown onto another horse, and the 2 of them and Benavides turned to flee. Mexican cavalry attempted to stop them. Grant shot 1 officer, and he and Benavides then galloped past the officer's horse. At this point, the herd stampeded, forcing the Mexican cavalry aside. The 3 Texians followed the horses. Mexican soldiers promptly gave chase. According to Brown's later recollection, both his and Grant's horses were wounded, as Mexican soldiers fired after them. The 3 Texians ran for 6 to 7 miles, occasionally firing their pistols to force Mexican dragoons to stay back. Mexican soldiers yelled that the men would be spared if they surrendered, but none of the Texians believed them. Benavides had the strongest mount, and Grant ordered him to go ahead to warn Fannin that the Mexican army was close to Goliad. Grant and Brown were surrounded and forced to stop. Grant killed a Mexican soldier who drove a lance through Brown's arm. Between 10 and 12 Mexican soldiers then surrounded Grant, and he died after being pierced multiple times. Historian Stuart Reed theorizes that Mexican soldiers were eager to ensure Grant did not survive the battle. Grant could identify Federalist sympathizers in Matamoros and the surrounding areas, and his knowledge potentially put Urrea and some of his Federalist sympathizing troops at risk. Brown threw his empty pistol at one Mexican soldier, then grabbed the lance from the man Grant had shot and used it to defend himself. As soldiers lassoed him, Brown surrendered and was taken captive. Brown was then brought back to the site of the ambush. He recalled that one severely injured Texian, Joseph Carpenter, was lying in the dirt begging for his life. Brown then saw a Mexican soldier shoot him. Although Urrea reported that 42 Texians were killed, early 20th century historians generally list 12 Texians as killed. Tejano involvement in the revolution had been notably absent from textbooks until the 1970s, so it is likely that historians were not including the Tejanos under Benavides. 6 Texians were taken prisoner. In defiance of the Tornel decree, Urrea spared those who surrendered and sent them to a prison in Matamoros. Reports indicated that Urrea offered clemency after the intervention of Francita Alaves, the mistress of one of Urrea's soldiers. 6 Texians escaped. 5 of these joined Fannin's garrison at Goliad and were later killed in the Goliad massacre. No reports of Mexican losses have been found, although at least one Mexican soldier is thought to have died. After the battle, Mexican soldiers rounded up the horses that the Texians had been herding and kept them. The battle marked the end of the Matamoros expedition. Although it occurred on the same day that Texas declared independence, Grant and his men did not know that they were fighting for the new Republic of Texas. According to historian Stephen Hardin, this battle proved that the Texians did not fight well on open prairies. News of the battle reached Fannin on March 4th. Urrea's imminent arrival worried Fannin, who feared that Santa Anna would lead his troops from San Antonio de Bejar towards Goliad, essentially trapping Fannin and his men between the two branches of the Mexican army. Fannin wrote to the acting governor, James Robinson, quote, "I am a better judge of my military abilities than others, and if I am qualified to command an army, I have not found it out." End quote. The acting Texas government nonetheless left Fannin in charge of the fort at Goliad, instructing him to determine whether it was best to retreat or make a stand. Fannin delayed making a decision, finally choosing to leave Goliad on March 19th. Urrea's troops trapped Fannin's men on an open prairie. The Texians surrendered after the Battle of Coleto, and most, including Colonel Fannin, were executed a week later in the Goliad massacre.
I can hear the drums in the distance. I can feel the fear, the resistance. Everything can change in an instant. You might stay alive if you listen. Your best friend is your instincts, don't think. Trust me, everything can change in a blink. Hearts race, I can feel my heart pounding. Hold our heads up and this the chant we'll be shouting. This is war, you won't take me. This is war, you can't break me. It's just me, no saving. I'm the only one who could save me. So stand strong, stand tall, stay up, don't fall. Give it everything you got. No fears, no walls, just fight, no laws. Push yourself to the limit, just to fight for it all. twice, either the enemy won't make it out alive. I got a full supply of energy and might, you pick the wrong side, Here I go, taking every single blow to the dome, never slow, pushing through it cause you know that I chose to be known. Legendary, I'ma show everybody in this